Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're going to continue our series with the last Caretaker beginner walkthrough. Before we leave Sanctuary, this is entirely elective for beginner players, but there's one more hidden area you can check out before you head to the navigation beacon. You see we're in the entrance point where we opened the bay doors from Sanctuary. So we're going to move around towards the back side and we'll notice an opening that wasn't accessible while we were playing through the starting area. We'll see some more enemies on the roof and a talon shark swimming next to us. We'll talk about that in a bit. You'll want to get close enough just in case you are attacked. We'll hit this ladder and climb above that opening so we can fall into it. So just want to jump just like that. And in here, since the update, you'll notice there is new loot items. And for our new players that have joined since the update, the old world survivor cache, I'm not sure what that's for, but I guess we'll find out. Again, this is an elective area, it doesn't really matter. But before you leave out of here, these boxes that are in the back, you'll want to grab them up because there's some goodies back here as well. On this ledge before you climb all the way to the top of the ladder. And you can use this pipe to walk back over here, drop down. And there you go. We'll jump back over to our ship. And from here, we're going to have to navigate around to the back side of Sanctuary so we can line this upper balcony with this pipe around the corner. I would only proceed around 10 to 20% to get yourself lined up because you're going to have to back up and try it a couple of times, especially as a beginner, just not used to navigating the boat. Plus the handling kind of sucks since it's a beginner. You don't have all of your diesel and electric engine cylinders. Drop your anchor. Once you're in a tunnel, this is why you want to be level 5, so you'll have access to your gun, because you really don't want to fight these with your crowbar. And we'll equip our pistol by opening our inventory, adding to holster 2, and you'll want to craft a magazine and a few rounds. And you can equip each of these by going to your inventory and selecting adding to your holster. And once you're inside the pipe, you'll see why we wanted to craft the pistol and wait till level 5. Go ahead and dispatch. Bring some leeches. You can even get creative and throw a grenade to shock them. And it's important you clear and kill the entire cocoon, otherwise they come back and regenerate. One of the items you loot from the cocoons are biomatter. And this is the hidden area under the stairs next to the electrical door as you first enter the dock of Sanctuary. Before we go, our net, we'll go ahead and drop it. Like we said, it was a container. We used it as temporary storage. Now that we have our Durapacks, we no longer need this as temporary storage, so we'll go ahead and drop our net. One last thing before we head to the beacon. Visit the diesel generator and throw in this biomatter we just collected, and you can see it regenerating the diesel reserves in our boat. Now we'll proceed to the navigation beacon. As you're leaving Sanctuary, be careful. You'll notice these floating Sentinel mines in the water. Those are very devastating to your boat, especially for beginners. Just avoid those at all costs for now. We'll make another video later on what to do with those and dispatch them safely. You'll notice as we're leaving, there's one last hidden area that I forgot to mention that you can visit by going to the front left corner of the roof and following those stairs down and around. There's 2 platforms you have to hop across, and there's one last opening in there where you can get a few more human items. As you're leaving Sanctuary, you'll want to turn to the east, northeast, because if you proceed directly to the navigation beacon, you'll run into some Sentinel mines that they have placed strategically in your path. So don't go straight to the navigation beacon as you're leaving Sanctuary. That's very important. You'll want to turn a little bit to the left and head towards the habitat node. And as you get closer to the habitat node, you'll see the string of mines that they have planted in the water. This devastates a lot of new players. You'll also notice the debris floating in the water as we're floating by. That's what our cargo net, fishing net, is gathering. You'll also notice that I have the solar panel already built to my roof, so we've accomplished that objective already. That's something that you'll be doing as you're traveling to the navigation beacon. The closer we get to the navigation beacon, the more mines we have to traverse, so be extremely careful in navigating this section of water until you get a little higher level. Now, some of these pods you'll see floating in the water look like mines, but they are leech nests that are floating in the water. You can hit those, you'll be totally fine. They look like mines, but they are not. Same when approaching the navigation beacon, there are also mines in the water, so you'll want to reduce your speed as you approach, make it easier to control and navigate your boat through tight water. Before we move on to the navigation beacon, I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. We'll go back to our fishing net and bring that in. A couple of things I should have covered in the first beginner walkthrough video at Sanctuary is whenever you access the fishing cargo area, you can quickly offload everything by pressing G to take all. Same deal with the recycler. When you access it, you can press F to deposit all trash, and it makes it extremely quick and easy to recycle your resources. Lastly, we'll deposit this biomatter into the diesel generator to top off our diesel tanks. And now we'll proceed with securing our boat's mooring to the navigation beacon landing. Now, before we begin our exploration, we need to make sure we have a couple of things handy. First, accessing our holster, we want to make sure that your ammo or your pistol is fully stocked. You at least have ample ammo because you're going to need it, as well as ample battery reserve. Before you disembark and begin your exploration, you want to make sure that you have a couple of things on hand. First and foremost is the material to make your electrical cables. So if you don't have any, you'll access your building menu and select your electrical cables, and we'll go ahead and build 5, which require copper and plastic. You'll also want to make sure that you have the resources for the electric cable extender, which is plastic and iron. So we'll go ahead and grab a couple of those before we disembark as well, just to have in case we need it. Another cool thing you can do, especially since the update, is color and symbol customization of your storage boxes. When you access each box, you press the page down button to bring up the menu, which you can label your container. You can change the color as well as the symbol, which coordinates for whatever you have stored. Additionally, just like the connectors, you can build storage bins on the wall. Sometimes I like building one over here in the fabricator just to make sure that I have enough items handy, and you can do this with all containers, including fuel canisters as well as your batteries. One last thing, since update 1.0 that wasn't available in the early access, you can go to your skills tree, and now in level 4 and 5 you have new items. In the level 4 row, we'll have the charge injector, which when used, the injections convert power into vitality, which basically converts electricity into health. In skill row level 5, you'll have the donk lift, which is a forklift, as well as a donk pallet, which will allow you to haul and move around heavy items with ease. It requires petroleum or gasoline in order to operate. So keep that in mind as you're using your skill points. You can't really use this unless you have these resources available as well, so unlock those wisely. Also, before we move on, you'll see I have went ahead and crafted all of the cylinders to complete both the electrical and diesel engines. Immediately upon hopping off of the boat, you'll notice that you have a donk lift available, and this lift is not one that you can operate. It's not the same as the donk lift that you can unlock. You'll also notice a little abandoned caregiver over here and a box of resources. Go ahead and break him down. You can't do that with the electrical pistol. That's why I say get to level 5, unlock the bolt pistol. It makes a world of difference in your ability to clear these points of interest. You'll notice the difference between these doors. Just like Sanctuary, this one is electrically activated. We can't open it without electricity, and you'll see that mount there on the wall. Same over here, they've given us a little cord coming out of the mount on the wall, the connector point, but this is a manually operated door. So this is where you're going to want to connect power to activate the navigation beacon. They've also provided us with a cord to go ahead and hook up. First things first, let's build an extender to connect all of this to. Go ahead and save. You can also use a small battery canister here to generate power. See, we don't have enough resources to fix those just yet. There we go. We can go back to our boat and get the resources that we need, or we can use the power canister that's already here. Now, before you go through the door, I would at least recommend waiting until daytime before progressing, because there's plenty of items out here that we can scrap down while we're waiting for the sun to come up. Another diesel canister. Now, these you can carry on your person, which allows us to carry a small diesel cylinder back to our boat. Now you can set this here, but you'll notice that this cylinder has these little metal flanges on it and these don't. This is an upgraded cylinder, so this one is actually better than the ones we have. So we'll remove this one, replace it with the better cylinder, and give us a little more power later on. We'll take the old cylinder and recycle it down. By this point you should have reached level 6. We'll access our skills menu. And here you can see what I was talking about. This is an upgraded diesel engine cylinder booster. You also have the upgraded electric engine cylinder. This is an upgraded flashlight and an upgraded solar panel. And most importantly, what I say in the first video, the Store Tight. This is a larger version of the Durapack. We definitely want this. We'll go ahead and unlock that first, as well as the Lancer. We have 3 skill points left. Now with this, you can unlock the generator or the small petrol generator. Any of these will be fine. I will let you choose. Now before we proceed, something new players don't always realize is that your boat is its own power source as well. Remember, you've got your turbines generating power on the roof, and it stores quite a bit of juice in the meantime. So if you're having a hard time getting all of the power requirements met to access these points of interest, you can pull power from your boat. You just want to make sure you have enough resources to generate all of the extenders and cables that you're going to need along the way. As the sun comes back up, it's powering up our solar panels. If you're able, go ahead and repair all of your solar panels so they're maximizing their output. For now, we'll go ahead and proceed inside. Go ahead and draw your weapon, and almost immediately you'll see why. You can cut the light on. Just be prepared, there are lots of enemies here. This is our first look at the other types of enemies you'll face in the last Caretaker. We have these jelly bubbles, the cocoons, and the black bubbles. They all do different things. We'll switch back to our melee weapon, dispatch these guys, and we'll go ahead and clear the cocoon before it has a chance to regenerate. Be careful not to get ambushed by the jelly monsters. Just be careful not to get ambushed by the jelly monsters. So we'll work our way upstairs, being mindful of additional jelly monsters. Here we've reached the next portion of the navigation beacon. So at this data terminal, you'll want to access it and go down to acquire the Beacon 49 authorization. That unlocks this door and progresses the mission. Just be careful because there's little monsters inside.
The communication array is damaged. Repair it, recharge the relay, and let the beacon speak again.
From here, you take a look around and notice that there's all types of resources that we can scrap down, as well as boxes of loot. Make sure to grab all of the boxes because there's usually materials that are useful in there. On the back side of the relay tower, there's more materials and cables, and here is telling us to repair communications array upcharge link. So what we'll have to do is we're going to have to power this terminal, but before we can do that, we'll need to make our way back up to the rooftop to repair the tower, the relay point of interest. And before you proceed upstairs, you can always open this door. There's resources in here that you can use as well. You'll notice you can't access this door because you're not high enough level. This requires you to be level 15. So every 5 levels you complete, you move up a badge level. So we're currently at badge level 2 because we're level 6. For now, we'll set this here at the doorway, but we'll proceed up the stairs. You'll want your ammo for this guy. And again, length the cylinder, set it at the stairs so you don't forget. You go through ammo extremely quickly, so use it sparingly and melee as much as you can as a beginner. This long jump requires you to run at full sprint while pressing the jump button. You jump, you press and hold sprint in midair while you're jumping to grab the ledge. Same with the ladder. You can press E when you get close to the ladder to grab a hold. And once you reach this point, it's important to note, this is the part where you need to repair. Remember what I said in video 1? As soon as you hit the flap, press E to grab the ladder so you can ride it down. That is a long climb down otherwise. We'll carry this back down with us, set it at the stairs. And now we need to power and charge up this uplink. So you notice this connection point will connect here. There we go, now it's charging. Go ahead and pick up your electric engine cell, carry it back to the boat.
alive again. Data streams freely, revealing paths once hidden. Beyond these waters awaits the Lazarus Complex, humanity's greatest hope. Seek it out, Caretaker.
At this point, if you haven't hit level 7 or 8, you can go ahead and finish scrapping down the last of the items that you would need to get you there. Level 7 really needs to be the bare minimum of where your journey begins before leaving out to the Lazarus Complex. Otherwise, you're just going to be so underleveled at the story progression, it's going to get harder and harder from here. So if you're having a hard time doing that, grab up the last of the plastic materials, maybe some metal, then head out. Don't forget to save, juice up if you haven't already. Let's get ready to head to the Lazarus Complex. Thanks for checking out the second installment of the last Caretaker beginner walkthrough guide. Make sure to do all the socials, and I appreciate all the feedback you guys have left so far. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Till then, be good or be good at it.